He's only a day old, but someday when Maverick Navist is ready to hear the story, his dad will tell him how he came into the world.
I'm gonna just point over them like, hey, you were born right there on that corner.
Lucas Navist can laugh about it now, but Tuesday night he and his wife Deanna were racing through Elk Grove after she started having contractions.
I hate to say it, but I was flying through stop signs and red lights.
It didn't matter. They only got as far as Sheldon and White House roads when the couple had to pull over.
She started screaming on top of her lungs, the loudest I ever heard her scream. She undid her seatbelt and stood up.
Lucas looked over to see Deanna holding the baby's head in her hands. He got out of the car and ran to the passenger side.
Opened up the door. By that time, my wife was holding the baby, took her all the way out, took the baby all the way out already. Was holding her arms.
But the baby wasn't crying.
She was really scared that the baby wasn't alive because it wasn't making any noise. So I turned the baby downward to get all the fluid out of his mouth. And that's where the military training really kicked in right there.
As a former military police officer, Lucas had some medical training.
You train for, the patch bullet holes and stuff like that, but when it's your own wife and own kid, it's a different story.
Soon the baby boy was crying and the couple called 911. Lucas credits the dispatcher for walking him through the next steps.
Told me I had to tie off the umbilical cord tightly with a shoelace or a string of some type. Well, I was wearing sandals. And the first thing my eyes looked at was an iPhone charger cord. So I just used that and tied a knot on the umbilical cord. So thanks to Apple for that one.
Of course, Lucas says the real credit goes to his wife, whose impromptu natural childbirth isn't the first time she's proven her toughness.
She went through hell on earth with me in Iraq for 13 months, raising a kid by herself. So she's a tough woman.
And when little Maverick is old enough to hear the story, the most important thing for him to know about his parents.
Me and her, we were a good team. We worked together on it.